Hello everybody, hopefully you guys are having a good day. My name is Eddie and I'm going to be doing another one of my stand-up videos today where I kind of just do some live coding and talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Now this one's going to be a little bit different because I've actually already done the work. I just didn't realize I wasn't recording. So I'm just going to go over what I did and yeah, we'll make this a nice short quick episode today. The trials and tribulations of working with technology. But in this one, what I ended up doing was I took the auth token and the user ID out from the form. So we no longer need it and we're just getting it from the actual application. So to do that, we added an extra field into our post kubeconfig function called auth token, and that is our authentication token that's stored in memory of our application. And then what we end up doing is we can go and look at yep, here we go. We're in our kubeconfig post kubeconfig function. We took some stuff out of our validator. We're not using the user ID and auth token anymore, but instead we're just validating the kubeconfig file, the label, and the description here. And if anything goes wrong, of course we're going to return. We have to construct a new body. So this might look funky, but all we're saying here is that we want the validation field data, the data that we get from the validation field. We want all that stuff, which is going to be all these validated, or all these fields after they've been validated. And then we're going to add on top of that the auth token that we get in as an input string to our function. Then we make a post request to our Kubernetes microservice off in the internet somewhere, but in reality hosted on my local machine right now. And if everything works out, we should get a 200 OK. We did have to make some changes over in the request model that we're getting, because we're not sending over the user ID anymore, so that was removed from here. That's no longer something that we kind of concern ourselves with. See here, all I did was delete that. And also we made some changes in how we do validation. So we've actually modified all three of our services today. We have the authentication token, which now instead of just saving a 200 response code, we actually save it as a HTTPX response, and we're going to use that in a second, right? And we're going to actually use it instantly because we save the user ID. It's the auth token. We convert it to JSON. We get from the payload this user ID, and you'll see in a second. Actually, I can show you right now. I just can press my keybinds properly. The edit that we made in the authentication API and the microservice was that we now provide this payload. And this payload is just everything that's inside of the JWT, the JSON Web Token. So if we look into our storage and look at what one of these JSON Web Tokens really looks like, and go to jwt.io, we can paste in our token, and you can see that we have a bunch of information on who the user is. So we send this off to our authentication API. If the authentication API can verify the signature and realize that it's a valid token for authentication, it's going to send us back all of this information, which has our user ID inside of it. Oh, man, I'm just not good with my keybinds today. And we can go back to our Kubernetes API. So now we have that user ID token. We have the auth token that we got from our Kubernetes configuration request. And now we can save that into our database. New user equals kubeconfig, and then the user ID is just that user ID that we got. The data, pretty much everything else stays the same. And what we end up with is that if we go over to our platform and we want to use all of it, we could say that we have a evil cluster. This cluster was forged in the fires of hell. That cluster is no good. I don't know why we're adding it, but we do add it, and we could refresh, and we have our new evil cluster inside of our database on our microservice. So every single service was touched in this patch. Kind of upset that my recording didn't grab any of this stuff, but hopefully you found it informative. If you guys like this video, please, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I do these things pretty frequently now. I think we're already on like episode 6 of this kind of series that I've been doing. It's been a lot of fun, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment. If you guys want to see me add anything or do anything with this project, let me know. And yeah, I read all of those, so I'll get back to you pretty quickly. Well, that's it from me, guys. You guys have a good one and have a good night. Bye bye.